Hello everybody, this is Diane. It's about 5:30 on Saturday, and I have spent the entire day pretty much in my craft room, but I haven't done any crafting. I have been cleaning and organizing, mostly organizing and weeding things out, trying to rearrange things, because I have given up on expecting my shelves to get here and get hung. Once my friend's husband actually brings the shelves and the overhead lights, then somebody has to be able and willing to hang them for me. So I'm tired of waiting. So I am just pretending they're never going to come. And if they do come, it will be wonderful. But I'm just pretending I don't have shelves. So I'm weeding out stuff and making room to put some of the things that are in baskets that would be sitting on my shelves into some of the drawer units that I have. So I've been doing that today, and it's been good to go through things and remind myself of what I have, especially all my vintage stuff. I have a whole tote with envelopes, like plastic envelopes, full of vintage things. They're all sorted into different types. But I went through them and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. And as I was doing that, I pulled things out that I can scan and put in my shop. So I got a whole bunch of stuff for that. So it was good to do that. And I went through fabrics and, like my small pieces of fabric and stuff. And I pulled out a bunch of that. So I'm going to be destashing a bunch of stuff. Also, earlier this week, I went to my parents' storage unit where I had put some things when I moved. And I got all my boxes and brought them here. So a lot of that stuff is to be also destashed. So there will be some destashes coming when I get a chance, on top of all the flea market stuff and all the scans I want to do. So that's what I've been busy doing today, and it's been good. I really like actually organizing and cleaning and going through my stuff and kind of reminding myself of what I have. So that's been good, but I'm not done. It's still kind of a mess in here, so I'm taking a break for the rest of the day. I'll pick up tomorrow afternoon. But I wanted to do a little crafting with you and kind of do a what's on my desk type of thing, because I have several things here. I wanted to show you these vintage greeting cards that I found in my stash of vintage greeting cards. And I want to use my greeting cards. I'm going to remember to get them out and put some in these journals and then some future journals. Well, anyway, I found these two gorgeous swan greeting cards, and I've been collecting swan ephemera so that I can do a swan journal or two. I have a gorgeous book cover with a swan on it. That's why I started collecting these. I'm sure I have enough to do a swan journal, but I just have other things too. So, I have tons of journals I want to make. So those are going to go in my swan ephemera packet. I want to show you what I'm going to be working on next. I'm going to be making a journal out of this vintage book, The Bluebirds' Uncle Ben. I believe The Bluebirds was it says The Bluebird series right there. So this particular book is about their Uncle Ben, and there's a picture of Uncle Ben. And along with that, I'll be using this book. Now they're going to look quite different, I think, because this one has brighter colors and this one looks more vintage. And so I'll probably go along with that, although I will use colors in this one. I don't want it to be drab. But this one has some pretty bright colors, so I'm going to use that, go with that. And I have these papers printed. I'm not going to make it a Dutch or a tulip theme, although I do have some things that I can use to kind of have a nod to the tulip title. So I found these as I was going through my items, as I was going through all my stuff today. And this is, I don't know what the story is called, but the headings are, how were the Dutch twins dressed? What were they going to do? What was this Dutch kitchen like? So I want to use these cute little images. And I also have these two images left over from a journal that I recently made with some of these Mrs. Cogg's images, the Sunday Magazine kit. So I think I'll use those. Although I think these are from Brittany, not from Holland, but they're cute and I'm going to use them. I don't know where this one is from, but she looks awfully cute. Also, I have the other digital set of hers called Children's Magazine Covers or something like that. So I might print that and use that throughout this book. This is it says 1949 is the copyright, so I don't know if this is a newer version because it doesn't seem that old. But sometimes you get surprised because they're in such good shape for their age. But I don't know. I really don't know if that is really how old this is. I wouldn't be surprised if that one was at least that old, Uncle Ben. Let's see if we can find... Let's see. It says 1920s up there. This was given for Christmas in 1926. So for this one, I have Mrs. Cogg's image. See, this is the second time I'm trying this video, and I forgot to mention that I'm trying to use all of the digital kits that I have purchased and haven't used yet. So along with the kits or the decorative papers that I print, I always check Mrs. Cogg's and see if I have any kits that might go along with whatever journal I'm making. And I have the Anne of Green Gables, which I love. One of my favorite books, one of my favorite movies, the version with Megan Follows. So these, I probably won't use all of them, but I'll use some of them. So this is an illustration of when she broke her slate over Gilbert Blythe's head, because he called her Carrot Head or Carrot or something. There's an image of a book cover of Anne of Green Gables, and there's another illustration. I think this is when Matthew first brought her home and Marilla was expecting a boy. There she is walking the ridgepole. But then a lot of them are, there's another one of her in school, a lot of them are photos of, I think it was a silent movie. Pretty sure it was a silent movie. So it has the actors and actresses from the silent movie. There's a pretty illustration. See there? Look at those ringlets. So I'll use some of these. There she is. Isn't she pretty? There's even a movie marquee from that. I'll have to look it up and see what year that movie was. So I don't know what kind of pages I'll use in this. I just have the Anne of Green Gables. I know that these children are younger than that, but I'm not trying to go for a theme. I just want to use some of these images in this book. I think they'll go fine. And like, I'm not going to try to do a Dutch theme for that. But I did print these papers from Country at Heart. I'll have to look up the name of the papers. But they're just beautiful, bright, fun, really pretty pages. And then on the back, I printed some ledger, and I forgot who I got the ledger paper from, but I like that it's horizontal. And I tried cutting it to see if it matched up pretty good, and it is pretty good. If I cut the sides, these sides, it'll be all right, but on this side I'll have to cut along the ledger. Because the ledger isn't as wide as this. But that's okay, because I'm going to have to trim them anyway. So I have several different colors of ledger paper on the backs of the pretty papers. I love the pink one, of course. So that's what I have. That's all I've done so far. That's all I've gathered for these. So that's what I'm going to be working on this week, Lord willing. I have some extra work to do this week with my job, and I have babysitting to do 2 days this week. So here's what's on my desk. Along with those other items I showed you that I discovered while I was cleaning out my stuff, I have a bunch of calling cards. And these are the ones that had a little, a lot of them had a little decorative piece glued on, and you could flip it open and see the name. And all of these were missing that piece. And rather than throw these away, I thought, well, I'll just flip them over and decorate the back, and then I can just glue them down on something. This one isn't missing anything, but I don't like it. It's such a bright, bright blue. And it has a name in kind of a faded gold, Kate something. And I just don't like the color. I don't know if I'll do anything with that. The other thing I brought over here were, I had done these a few weeks ago. Made these little embellishments just playing around, and this is what I used to make them. These are photo frames that came out of an album, a big, big album. It had 8x10s in it, and I took all the 8x10s out. They were of my husband and myself and my kids when they were babies and stuff like that. But I don't have room for that great big album, so I took all of the photos out and I have them safely put away. And I didn't want to throw these away. I saved the big pages in the back that you were supposed to use photo corners to attach more, smaller photos. I saved all those pages, and I have been using some of them in journals. So I started cutting pieces off of the frame, and I round the corners, and it has this texture, so when you stamp on it, you get that really cool textured effect. And I tried leaving one with the corner, so this could be a little tuck spot. And for this one, I tried stamping something there and it didn't turn out, so I just sewed this on over it, so that can be a little tuck spot. And then I'll have to put something on the back of these, but just playing around, I tried stamping a few things on that. So I'll do some of that too if I have time. But right now, let's just do something with the calling cards. My mat is a big mess I need to clean. It takes a lot of scrubbing to clean this up, so I don't feel like doing that today. I am going to get my pad of paper here, because I'm sure I'll be doing some inking. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I got out some stamps. I don't need to distress them very much because they're pretty old. So let's see what I brought over here. Some stamps I got out with an idea for these, and some I got out for the photo album thing. I think I'll stamp memories on this with maybe a floral. I have this set called Fragments from Tim Holtz. Let's try that, see if we like it. So I want the memories to be darker than this, obviously. And I want it to look vintage, so I don't want to use a bright color. Let's see what it looks like with frayed burlap. That looks pretty good. This looks like old wallpaper, and I love it. Sorry for the squeaky chair, but that's my chair. It must not be very absorbent because it's staying kind of wet on there, so I want to be careful to not smear it. But I might put another color around the edges on that before I'm done. But I like that. Let's try this one. This one is just rectangular, but it does have an embossed design on it. So I might want to use the front side of that and then stamp something and cut it out and put it on there instead of stamping on the back where it would be debossed. I'm gonna take some wild honey and rub it over to bring out the embossed design. Helped a little bit, so I think I'm going to put a little vintage photo just really lightly and not press down as hard as I did with the wild honey. Yeah, that brings it out more. Instead of stamping something, I'm going to look at my flowers that I fussy cut and see if I have one that would look pretty on here. This does have a bent corner, so I will make sure this gets glued to something and not just tucked into. If I want to just tuck it into a pocket, I will glue it to something to back it so that corner doesn't break off. Violets were very popular in the Victorian era for decorating postcards and calling cards. I'm trying to see which way is up with these. That looks pretty on there. I think this will cover up the name. That is pretty. I might use that, but I'd still have to put something else on it. So it'll be either one of those. So I have an idea. I need a scrap of copy dyed paper. Sorry, I bumped the camera. I had to reach around it. I want a label stamp. That one might be that might be bigger than what I want. Yeah, let's go with this one. over the name. And this right there. All right, does that label need to be a little bit bigger, wider? Does it need to be like that? Let's try that. I'm sorry, but I feel like the flower covers up too much of the label. It was very rainy this morning. It rained during the night, and it was still raining when I got up, and it was raining quite heavily. So I had a whole bunch of stuff to go to the post office. And some of it, I usually print my labels here. So all I have to do is take them and have them scan them, and we're done. But the sheet music was causing some issues, because it was in large packages. They're not big packages, but they're big, you know, they're not big envelopes, bigger than normal. So they were causing problems, and so I couldn't purchase the labels and print them, or it would have been exorbitant. So I think I like this thicker size. So anyway, and then if things are flat, I have a lot of vintage ephemera that I sell, and I don't print a label for that because it's just going to go as a flat envelope. The only thing is with that, I don't have a tracking number, but it's a lot cheaper. So those things I have to pay for at the post office. So anyway, I had all that to do, plus a whole bunch that I had printed labels for. So I wanted to do that and get those on their way, because I didn't go to the post office yesterday. I don't like to go on Saturday, but I didn't go yesterday, so I wanted to go today. So anyway, I had just decided that the packages were going to wait till Monday because it was raining so hard, and the post office is only open till noon on Saturday. Wow, this was really goopy. And then it let up. It was still raining, but not nearly so heavy. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go. Just put my shoes on, grab my stuff. I had everything already. I just grabbed all my stuff, went to the post office, and it only takes me a few minutes to get there. By the time I got there, it was raining heavy again. But now, I don't think it's raining now. I think it's stopped for quite a while. I haven't been outside since my post office trip because I've been in here cleaning. Okay, so we're going to call that good. I like that. It's a nice embellishment. Now let's go back to this one and put something around the edge. I think I might want to put a little black around the edge. Let's try the pumice stone first, make sure. The black might be too dark, so we'll try the pumice stone. But it is supposed to rain tomorrow too, with thunderstorms. Yeah, I think this pumice stone is okay. I think the black soot would have been okay too, but we'll just stick with this. I'm trying hard not to damage this really old card. I think I cracked it a little bit right there. I don't know if that crack was already there, but so I'm trying to support it with my fingers behind it, which is getting ink on my fingers. Oh, there's another crack there, so maybe it was already there. Okay, but I like that. I think that helps. That adds to it. Let's try it on this one. This is a softer card. It's not as sturdy as that other one. But I do like the embossing on it. So this can just be glued onto a page as a label. Let's try another one. This one's pretty. See what I have in here. This is the Tim Holtz Field Notes. Doesn't have to be that way. I could make something this way, but I like it this way. There's a specimen label. What else? Received. Put this little, like a ledger number up there. Okay, that's a fun one. I have 3 more, plus this blue one. I don't know if I want to do anything with the blue one, like I said, but I'm gonna play around a little to see if I can make it worthwhile doing something with. Oh, I have an idea. I have a bunch of printable calling cards and stuff, if I have any left. Let's see what I have here. Well, those are Tim Holtz ones. Yeah, I think I could just use it to back one of these. That one's pretty. I like the lady. Kind of chopped it up weird. Hush down some of that blue, in your face blue. I will use black soot on this one. little something down here eventually, but maybe not today. Look and see what I might have. So I'll move her to the top so there's room underneath her to add something decorative. And try not to smear too much glue. Too late. These are all too big. I'm gonna look in my itty bitty box. That says itty bitties. Contents, merchandise. There's a little ticket. Nope. Something like that, but this says Traveler 5 cents. I don't even know what that means. Is it a brand of something? Maybe if I trim that shorter. I like that. That actually came off a vintage package of decoupage papers that somebody sent me. I saved all the numbers off those packages. Oh, 6 o'clock already. I heard my clock chime. I had a late lunch. So I'm not ready for dinner yet. Oh, we've got 4 done already. They're fun to do. Maybe I won't work on those picture frame ones today. Let's try this one. It's a big one. I love this basket. Let's turn it this way and use the flower basket. This is a Stampin' Up! Stamp from 2003. I brought some word stamps over. Happiness, inspire. I think inspire fits on there pretty well. Looks kind of empty, so I'm going to get out another fragment stamp and do it very lightly. I need a very light color of ink, preferably a prettyish color. I wonder if Grapefruit Grove is too dark. I think this is a color I don't use very much. And it's pretty dark. But let's see how it does with second generation. think I like that. So we're gonna go for it. So I'll stamp it once on my scrap paper. Get some of that ink off. Then I'll do it again on this. So it's much paler and it gives a bit of a background to it. So now I'm going to take some of that orange ink and just go around the edge. So if you come across old Victorian calling cards in your travels and they're damaged and the front is not pretty, remember you can decorate the back. I still feel like that needs something else. So I have a little doily stamp I could do in the corner if I knew where that doily stamp was, without having to look too hard. One of the things I have to organize in here are my clear stamps, because they're all in some drawers here, but they're not organized in any way, so I have to look through them all until I find what I want. Maybe I don't know. I was going to say maybe I could stamp a number on it, but don't know. I have so many stamps, you guys, but I think you know that about me. Oh, that's a giant one. I found a doily, but that's a giant one. Maybe they're not clear. Maybe those doilies are on blocks. I don't remember. So I'm not going to worry about them right now. I bet I could use one of these pieces. The Finalizing ephemera pieces. I could just stamp that in the corner there. I have Sahara sand. I think that's light enough. A little too late or light for second generation, so we're just going to go for it. Not my favorite one, but it'll do. Before I put that away, I'm going to put some of this ink around the edges also. I think that'll help. Okay, I like that. Okay, 40 minutes in, 41 minutes in. I think I have time to do these two. Now this one has a little bit of a pattern on it. It's not embossed, but it is a pattern. So I pulled this out because I saw this. I think this would be great on one of these. I think it'll just barely fit on there. If I line it up just right. Got a little tiny scrap of paper in there. Slightly crooked. Otherwise it fit on there good. Create. Number 3. And lastly, maybe we can use this violet on this. This is Dusty Concord ink. Saw this in here, so it's a very open design, so I'm wondering if I stamp that in a light color, if that would look pretty behind that. So I'll do the Sahara sand again. Stamping up things. I'll just set it down. Not sure I like that. Different pattern might have been better. I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I had some mulberry paper behind this, I might like it. So if I have mulberry paper in the right color in my scrappy bag, I got red and a tiny, tiny piece of light blue. Red's not going to do it. should have more mulberry paper in here. I know I've got some in the other room. I don't want to go get it. There's a piece of doily. I might use that. It's been so quiet here today. I've been working in here and I never even turned music on or anything. Nope, I guess I don't have mulberry paper in here. Oh wait, I have this little pack right there. It's not all mulberry paper, but there is some in here. There's this pink, kind of speckledy. Yeah, that helps. It helps it stand out from that background that I just stamped on there. But I think I like the purple better. Got a little bottle of water here. Just gonna wet this because I can't tear much off it. It would be too small. But I think this will help. This isn't mulberry paper, I don't think. If it is, it's a thicker, tougher kind. It does have fibers in it, so it might be. But it's not as sheer. There. I do like the background stamped on there. It was just competing with the flowers. So I like that a lot better. Is this my last one? I think so. I think I've done them all. Maybe tomorrow I'll do some of the photo album frame ones. And then do some more cleaning in here. Okay, I made another mess here, but this one won't take me long to clean up. I'll clean up before I go out to find some dinner and relax for the evening. So let's look at what we did today. We did that one, and that one. And that one. So that was fun, and it saved me from throwing away some really awesome vintage calling cards. I made them pretty again, so I can use these in some journals. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back again with another project soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.